Play.
I want one more thing from you, Francisca. Can you look at the camera? And I want you to say, I am Francisco Jorge, and I am a friend of the show. Can you try it?
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend. I'm a wait.
Go. It's okay.
I'm Francisca Jorge, and I'm a fan of the show.
One more time. Can you say, I'm a friend of the show?
Friend.
Like amigo.
Friend.
A friend. So, because we joke, we have players come on all the time. They have no idea, but after they've been on, we say, oh, Yelena Ostapenko is a friend of the show. She has no idea. But so if we get you to say, I am Francisca Jorge, or how you say your name, and
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect. Thanks, just want you to do me one more thing. I want you to hold the microphone. I want you to look in the... Don't be nervous. I mean, listen, you've just beaten Yelena Ostapenko.
I'm not nervous.
No, you shouldn't be. If you can beat Ostapenko twice in one day, you can do this for sure. I want you to look at the camera and just say, hi, my name is, say your name, and then say, and I'm a friend of the show.
Friend of the show?
Yeah?
Okay. Hi, my name is Susan, and I'm a friend of the show.
Say your whole name for me. That's the only thing I want.
Sorry.
Surname too. No, you're doing great.
You're
doing
cutting,
great.
huh?
Yeah, I'll cut it up. Don't worry. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Cool. Thank you very much, Susan.
You're welcome.
Good luck for the rest of the tournament. And I will tag you on Instagram, and you can reject. I do have one more tiny thing, which is I want you to look into the camera.
Yeah.
I want you to say your name.
Yes.
And I want you to say, I am a friend of the show.
I'm a friend of the show. Okay.
Perfect, yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Ready. Play.
Okay, now I'm not muted. Hello, guys. Naomi, Osaka, Liudmila, Samsonova, second round of Madrid. The funniest thing about the video that John just played might be how, Miss George just keeps saying George, and John is like, George, please say George. Obviously, I mean, he was mostly referring to the second part, but there's a very significant difference in how these two pronounce that surname. I think John is right. Who cares how she wants it to be pronounced? He probably knows better. Anyway, Naomi Osaka, Liudmila Samsonova, second match this year actually, so it's a bit surprising, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, Osaka keeps drawing the same players, apparently. And Liudmila Samsonova might be yet another one of them. Let's see if Naomi Osaka's clay footwork has improved at all, or if it will be a factor even in this match. Because, well, if we just sort of delve into a huge hard-hitting contest here, then maybe it's not. I mean, the first point goes Samsonova's way, and Naomi not even chasing down that backhand down the line. Well, it's just 1 point. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for now. But yeah, Naomi to me is like in a similar spot as Shapovalov is right now. I know probably the expectations from her are still higher, but what I mean by that is that they're on the comeback trail, right? But it's the clay season, so it's really hard to know, well, what they can do in this very part of the year, whether that will not sort of slow down their progress. Both of them got a win as well in Madrid. Neither is a top 32 or top 16 player. So there is a bit of a correlation there to me, that this is clearly not the most ideal part of the year for them to just get back to their best. But, well, you can't just waste it. You can't just go off the tour either. Gotta build up the fitness, gotta build up the physicality. And if some wins show up, why not? So far, of course, Naomi has gotten through one match yesterday against Liudmila. That was not that tough on her, although, it could have been a tougher draw. But I think somewhat similarly to Samsonova, today, which I'm thinking that it might be a match like this. It just kind of emerged as this aggressive ball striking, huge hitting fest, and that's like kind of what Naomi wants on a court like this. Just not that much in terms of like angle work and movement from corner to corner, but rather both players blasting the ball. And of course, that's something she's amazing at. That's something where she basically shines. So the serving could help out. I remember yesterday some people saying that she was serving very well. Pretty surprising here that she hasn't won the point, because the serve down the tee seemed amazing. Samsonova gets it back in play, and we're going to have 2 breakpoints for the Russian early on. I don't think the serves will be, it won't be probably like only 1 break per set, but we're talking of 2 very, very good servers. So we're definitely not watching Sara Errani against Felipe Stormo in terms of the breaks not mattering whatsoever. Here they actually could. They very well could, despite both players being pretty tricky as well. And it's a second serve return for Samsonova to look at. She plays this one with quite a lot of loop. It's kind of surprising coming from her, but don't worry, she hits an error on the third ball. Everything has been restored to normal. 30-40, 1 more breakpoint for the 15th seed. I actually don't know what the odds are on this match. Who was the favorite here? I will check that. I'll check that in a second. Personally, I would say Samsonova, but not by far. No, like not by much. But who knows? She has Osaka on the back foot here. Will Naomi be able to find the pass? No. So yeah, basically Samsonova playing deeper, heavier for now. She approaches the net here as she's kind of forced to, and Naomi forehand on the run on clay. I don't know if it's going to be producing much, but I guess we'll have to find out. So as for what I just mentioned in regards to Osaka or Samsonova, according to the bookies, Osaka was actually a small favorite rather than Samsonova. I mean, Samsonova obviously isn't in any ridiculous form either, right? She actually hasn't won a match since Dubai, playing against Osaka in Indian Wells, playing against Putintseva in Miami, and playing against Potapova in Stuttgart. So, well, it's not like she's doing very well at the minute. In fact, she's just 4-9 for the year, which is why I think her odds look like this. Like basically, they don't believe in her. Maybe I was a little too quick in my assessment that she's a bit of a favorite here, but well, so far definitely a good start for her. And I am still a little uncertain what to think about Osaka's potential on clay, especially in terms of the footwork and how she sets up for the shot. I mean, we just saw the forehand down the forehand on the run, which I think a lot of players would have at least produced something, at least forced the opponent to play the volley, or I don't know, maybe even went for the line. But with her, it was very tough to even execute the motion. But yeah, Samsonova hasn't won a match since Dubai, so it's kind of an important one for her too. Hello, Terry. One of our veterans of yesterday. Of course, yesterday we had this ridiculous watch along for like 12 hours in 2 parts. Today, I think it's just this one plus Nadal Blanche later. Nadal Blanche will also, if anyone listening is a Spanish speaker, apparently it will also have a Spanish watch along with it. I wonder how that will do. We'll see. Are we going to be rivaling Punto de Break now? But yeah, they are a tough act to follow, probably. But well, I will just be on this one, by the way. Osaka Samsonova. I probably won't get to watch Nadal Blanche, although it depends on the timing. But I won't get to watch it at home anyway. It's not like at the top of my priority list anyway today. Like there are some matches later, like what was it, Kovacevic, Medvedovic, that I really would love to see, or Mikkelsen Fonseca. These are the ones that I'm afraid that I might have to miss because of some other duties I have today. But well, we'll see. Of course, on the changeover, I'll talk about what's happening in Madrid as well on the other courts. But for now, let's see as Osaka fires this backhand down the line return winner. That's quite a surprise. Samsonova definitely not expecting that at all. Before she was back on the ground, the ball was already there in the corner. But it's still 30-all. Naomi, I think, made the quarterfinals at this event in the past. I mean, if we're talking about clay conditions, then Madrid is probably her favorite event. So it's not like she can't do well here. Samsonova, all in all, it's like kind of impossible to talk about her preferences because like she's just so up and down every single tournament. Last year, obviously, some amazing highlights, especially with the final in Montreal, final in Beijing. But, well, I guess the final in Abu Dhabi at the beginning of the season too, but not much consistency. And right now, she's just really struggling. But we'll see. This could be an opportunity to get back there. And again, when Naomi's just kind of pushed a little wide to the forehand corner, she can't recover. So the breakpoint has been saved by Samsonova, which she got herself into with a double fault. When it comes to Samsonova's results from Madrid in the past, in 2022, she lost to Petra Martic in the opening round. And last year, she defeated Zanevska and Ostapenko to lose to Begu. Begu, one of the best performers in Madrid over the years, for sure. She made the quarterfinals on 3 occasions, but this year will not be one of them since she just lost to Madison Keys in a couple of tiebreaks. But historically, Begu has 3 quarterfinals at this event. This time, the kicker to the Naomi backhand doesn't produce any massive, aggressive return from the Japanese. I think maybe she realizes that her string is broken. She's gonna switch up her racket anyway here, as Samsonova tries to consolidate and make that break from the opening game count. Trading backhands cross, Samsonova going down the line, and Osaka once again will not even attempt to chase it. Well, I mean, if we were going to talk about Osaka's movement on clay so far, it definitely looks a little subpar. I mean, just the fact that when Samsonova changes direction, the point is over. No ability to cover her forehand corner whatsoever, but we'll see. Maybe that's gonna improve as the match goes on. Maybe it's just a slow start with her feet. I haven't seen Osaka play on clay in years, because obviously she was off the tour. I didn't watch her match against Milan yesterday. I didn't watch her match against Martina Trevisan in Rouen. So, well, I wonder when was the last time I watched Osaka on clay then. And I suppose that would have to be 2022. When she defeated Potapova here in Madrid, lost to Soribes Tormo, and then lost to Anisimova at the French. I'm assuming I watched at least one of these. Probably Anisimova at the French, right? That was a big one. Great point here from Samsonova. I almost thought that she was not going to cover that backhand line because she played a drop shot. Osaka had quite a lot of space there. And Samsonova, to me, seemed like she was leaning cross-court, but she actually manages to get her hands at the volley and play it into the open court. So love 30 down now, Osaka. Things are looking increasingly tricky, but the first serve comes in with a bit of help. Do we have the speed gun somewhere visible here? Oh, in some shots. I think yesterday there was this massive ace that she had down the tee. I watched it this morning. But as I said, I didn't see any points, actually. Yeah, again, Samsonova has her stretched and running. Will that end well for Osaka? Likely not. And it doesn't, although she did at least play a few shots here from trickier positions. So No, it wasn't as poor as in the first two games, but eventually it's actually that scramble that makes her miss that final forehand. So it's 2 breakpoints for Samsonova now. So Naomi on the back foot here, but she manages to survive with the forehand counter, tries to slap her own, gets that middle of the court ball from Samsonova, but she nets it. So it's 3-0, 2 breaks already after 12 minutes. Wow, that is a bit unexpected to this extent, at least. Let's see if Samsonova can also consolidate the second break. As I said, I will also mention the other action. I mean, we basically have 8 courts, so 8 matches going on right now. Purcell just took the second set against Giron, so these two guys who are playing, well, probably the worst match in ATP Masters 1000 clay history. They are the third set. Well, both of them do not really enjoy the surface. Let's just say that. Sonego is up a set on Gasquet, but in the second set, it seems like the veteran is actually holding on. Monteiro on the first set against Lajovic. That's quite interesting. And Chris O'Connell, Matteo Arnaldi still pretty close to one another at the moment in the opening set. And on the WTA, we have Emma Navarro beating Nadia Podoroska so far 5-2. Ostapenko up a break on Buzas Maneiro. And Jastremska lost the first set with a bagel to Arango before now serving for the second set. A few results, of course, already came in earlier. I guess the biggest one was maybe Kachin breaking that 15-match losing streak. Kobori beating Tabilo on the WTA. Some easy wins for Azarenka or Sakari, which I guess is mostly impressive in the case of Sakari because she had a very tricky opponent in Dona Vekic. And I guess Sara Sorribes-Tormo beating Arina Svitolina is also pretty nice for the Spanish crowd here. However, I think we won't be like disrespectful to Miss Svitolina if we say that basically the last couple of months she has been a little disappointing. So perhaps the expectations were not that high at the moment. Samsonova with another very clean, quick point. Good serve, backhand cross, smash. Well, I mean, so far her game looks pretty controlled as well, I have to say. Like there's actually quite a lot of spin on a lot of shots. She's not like playing super low margin so far. And combined with the fact that Osaka is, well, looking like she's playing on clay for the first time in her career, which obviously she isn't, but like that's how she's moving so far. It's pretty tough for her to actually get on the board here, although of course she had her chance in the second game. But yeah, something has to change very quickly for if Naomi is to have a chance at fighting back in the opening set at the very least. Ace down the tee for Samsonova. She's won 88% of her first serve points so far. Naomi at just 29. 195 ace down the tee. That's a lot in the women's game, of course. And she also caps off this next point with a drop shot. I don't know if Osaka could have made it. I'm not sure actually how she moves on clay in terms of, starting and like going up and down the court. I'm actually not sure. I think the lateral movement is definitely something that over the years we've been noticing, but I don't know. Maybe this is also something that Samsonova will be able to, if not expose, then at least capitalize on from time to time. But yeah, it is 4 games to love for Samsonova, so it's a very rough start for the Japanese star. And definitely a nice omen for Samsonova, who hasn't been able to win a match since Dubai, playing only Indian Wells, Miami, and Stuttgart in the process. which is pretty much what most top players are playing. I mean, that's not a particularly limited schedule, obviously, given that after Dubai you've got India Wells, Miami, you don't have any WTA events, and well, basically most of them just play Stuttgart. So yeah, it's not like it's a weird schedule, but I'm just trying to say that, like, even if she hasn't won a match since February, it's just 3-4 matches, right? It's kind of like an Andrei Rublev type of losing streak, I guess. Both at 4 right now. More errors coming off Osaka's racket too. Very heavy backhand return from Samsonova, but she kind of messes it up. This was a perfect setup for a triple breakpoint, though. When she got that on the line, I thought she might actually just straight up finish it off right away, but no. Wow. And this is not even about like lateral movement. This is just Naomi missing her third ball without trying to go for that much on it either. This has been very rough. 2 breakpoints for Samsonova now, and we are in bagel territory. Whew. Osaka finds the line here on the forehand, so she avoids it for now. Samsonova had to change directions quickly and like almost slipped as well. I think Naomi even said sorry, but well, there's nothing to be sorry for here. And she gets the setup with the +1 forehand and indeed saves it. So at least here, when she had a couple of balls to her forehand after the serve, she was able to produce the first strokes. And she saves the breakpoints, avoids the bagel, avoids the potential bagel at least. Let's see if she can clinch that game eventually. Yeah, this is not looking that good for her anymore, though. But there's a dead net course that is just brutal. Yeah, this time saying sorry is definitely justified. Samsonova had all the control he wanted in this point, really. After Osaka had to save herself with this backhand moonball, plays this forehand short slice. Even though Samsonova is fairly close to the net, there's just no way you're gonna get there after such a net court. And Osaka is on the board. She wins a game. Still not looking that bright for her, but she is on the board. Maybe she can claw her way back into this. Arango is having a medical timeout, even though she has just broken back Yastremska in the second set. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, she's basically 6-love, 4-5 up, so not that far away from winning the match. Monteiro up a set and a break on Lajovic. That's a bit of a surprise, I feel, given how well Lajovic played in Barcelona. And also Sonego serving for the match against Gasquet. That's not too surprising. And Terry says that he can confirm there is no Hawkeye on the outside courts. Yeah, I mean, that seemed very unrealistic. Probably just 2 of them, right? Probably just Manolo Santana and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, I would assume. Which makes total sense. So yeah, for now, an electric start for Samsonova, but well, she also hasn't been forced to do all that much. Basically, the first ball that she gets Osaka to move a little bit. Usually, that already means a huge lead in the point for the Russian. Today, we also have the beginning of the women's doubles event. Niculescu Parks, that's a bit of a crazy one. But yeah, Samsonova serving at 4-1, still 2 breaks up, but of course it's not going to be a bagel, and the bagel has gone away now. 21 minutes, so still the possibility of like ending this in about 30 is very much there. Let's see if Naomi has any fight left in her here, but it will be tough from 2 breaks down. And especially as Samsonova is such a good server, making it quite tricky here. 2 consecutive unreturned serves, but well, the first one was just the pace, but the second one actually very good kick at the Osaka backhand. I'm not surprised Naomi missed, because that was a nasty first serve. Obviously, speed-wise, that was a significant decrease, but really good spin depth placement. And wow, now on the second serve, Samsonova also risks it. Very similar serve to the Osaka backhand. Naomi probably expecting to get a bit of a crack at it at least, and instead she gets pretty much what Samsonova got her on the first serve of the previous point. And in fact, it's going to be 4 unreturned serves. I remember when there was this match in Brisbane, right? No, sorry, not Brisbane, Australia, Naomi against Pliskova. No, sorry, not Pliskova, Garcia in the first round. And everyone was like, well, everyone, not everyone, but like there was a lot of overreaction on Twitter regarding that match being, some super high quality, whereas in fact they were just serving well and the opponents were like unable to really create anything from that, setting up easy +1 shots. And Naomi's reactions on return looked pretty horrible. Like they just looked so slow. And well, if you're watching this match, doesn't seem like that much has changed since. Now it's Samsonova's turn to go a little off the boil in this return game. Of course, she can afford it being 5-1 up, or at least she thinks she can. As Osaka seems to be smoothly going towards that 2-5 deficit. Yeah, again, the recovery. I mean, at least she survives Osaka. Like she manages to hold off a couple of tough, like really powerful shots from Samsonova here. But there's no coming back into the point, There is value in making your opponent play one more shot, but especially on clay when the ball sits up for you, this is kind of unmissable, this last winner from Samsonova. And again, Osaka is going to be stretched to her forehand corner. There's just no way she's going to do anything here. Yeah, it's a rough match to follow so far. Anytime Osaka is like pushed wide to her forehand, she just looks like she's stuck in the mud, not clay. And Samsonova misses this forehand down the line just by a tiny bit. 5-2 up. 2 opportunities to serve it out coming up. One WTA player I really don't like. I don't have one. I really don't have any ATP or WTA players I don't like. I don't like the hype about some players. Like, for example, I think, when there's overreaction about Coco Gauff, for example, I do have this feeling that, like, I mean, I kind of want to see these people proved wrong, but I have nothing against Coco, and I have nothing against really any ATP or WTA players. Even if there was a player where like I had private, let's say, in real life, I had a pretty unpleasant experience with. I still actually watch that player's matches, and I still enjoy his game. So yeah, I mean, to 99% of them, I am absolutely neutral. And truth be told, even if I had an answer to this, I probably wouldn't say it out loud. But with 100% honesty, you can sign me up for a lie detector test. I don't really have a player that I dislike now. I might dislike certain actions that they do. Like, I don't know, like there's a lot of questionable stuff from Marta Kostiuk, for example, that she says, and Naomi had that Roland Garros stint, right? Like when she denied doing press and was like going on about how tough it is for tennis players to basically hear the same questions time and time again or something. It was like, actually skipping on her duties. Like, I didn't like that, but does it mean that I have any hate or dislike for her as a person or as a player? Not really. I just don't like that particular thing that she did. Did I see Nadal signed up for Laver Cup? Yeah, I mean, it does look like a bit of a retirement thing, but at the same time, do we really think that Nadal would retire at Laver Cup? Like, doesn't it make a lot more sense for Rafa to just do it at the Olympics? I don't know. It just feels like for Federer it was obvious because it's his event basically, and well, everyone shows up and stuff. But like for Rafa, that's an event he played a few times. But wouldn't it be better to like go out in Paris still? Like, wouldn't it be better? I think if Roger had a choice, he also would have liked to retire in Basel, for example, rather than Laver, right? That was actually the plan right away. I mean, he was supposed to play Laver and Basel that year, right? But then he just pulls out of Basel because he wasn't ready to play it. But I think even Roger didn't want to retire at Laver Cup. He wanted Basel. So I don't know. I mean, if this was like such a big plan for him to retire at Laver Cup, that just doesn't sound realistic to me. Free set points for Samsonova anyway. She's been very dominant so far. Again, just forehand cross to the Osaka forehand. That's been working wonders. Early on, backhand down the line at that very same direction too. Now she hasn't really had the opportunity to play it in the last few games. But yeah, 30 minutes, 6-2, and this was a pretty brutal first set. It will take a lot of effort from Osaka to get back into this match. We'll see if she has it in her and if it's even possible. So yeah, even though Nadal signed up for Laver Cup, I just don't know. It would be very weird if this was a scripted plan to retire there. I would much rather see him go out at the Olympics, I think, in Paris, especially if he doesn't play Roland Garros, because well, he's been saying that it's not actually a given that he will. That if he feels before Paris like he feels today, he wouldn't play it. So it's gonna be quite a conundrum as well for him. So Sonego defeated Gasquet in the meantime. Any other developments? Arnaldi took the first set against O'Connell. Monteiro is like really leading Dusan Lajovic. That's a bit of a surprise, as I said. Arango Yastremska still in that second set, which looks pretty wild. 6-5 to Yastremska right now, but Arango will serve to keep herself in it and play the tiebreak potentially. Ostapenko up a set and an early break in the second on Buzas Maneiro, and Navarro also up a set and maybe an early break coming against Podoroska as she's break point up. Ooh. microphone windshields. They look nice. They look nice. Today we have to get 8K subscribers. I don't believe that we want. Maybe the Spanish guys, when we have that Spanish watch along. Don't worry, the English version is also going to be there. They're going to be just running, simultaneously. But maybe the Spanish audience suddenly shows up. And maybe we end the day with 9K subscribers. Anyway, Naomi, Osaka, Liudmila, Samsonova. We begin the second set after a very short opener that was completely dominated by Samsonova, who's, well, simply hitting big, serve and return, moving Osaka to that forehand corner where, well, she's having a lot of issues. And so far, that's been enough. Speaking of big returns, return winner here, cross court. The win probability stat or whatever they show on our screen, which is of course a bit bollocks, but before the match it said 57% Osaka, now it says 88% Samsonova. That second figure does seem realistic at the moment, I have to say, yes. She is in trouble, Osaka, and she's in even more trouble here after another good return from Samsonova. Heavy at the baseline. Like she's really playing this in a pretty controlled manner too, Samsonova, which I'm surprised by, but another huge return right at the baseline. I think it's out. Osaka really hopeful that this first serve made it in, but it is out. 3 break points for the Russian, for the 15th seed, who's trying to lock up her first win since February. And yeah, I mean, if here she even plays a short return, she doesn't connect with it as well as she did on the previous 3. And Naomi is unable to convert it. It's been a horror show for the Japanese. It's a tricky position for her, as they said earlier. I mean, she was clearly getting something going in the hardcourt season, Indian Wells, Miami. She was clearly getting back in shape. But then you run into Madrid, you run into the clay season, and, well, she was never really that good at it. But it's just not a perfect surface, not a perfect part of the year for her to keep regaining that form. And then you start also asking yourself, like, how much momentum is she going to lose in the meantime, right? And it's not that easy. I think in that comparison I made earlier with Shapovalov and Osaka, it's actually Denis who is much more natural on clay. Yeah, maybe you're right, Sean. Maybe just, as a again, something like Federer, right? When he's forced to, like if he's forced to retire in a non-competitive event. But I don't know, it's just Nadal retiring at Laver Cup, it would feel a little like weird. But yeah, maybe if he's forced to, which would be similar to Federer, who I don't think was going or planning to retire. Obviously, the Federer retirement was kind of a big deal too. There, like all these everyone showing up, him crying with Rafa, all these images, right? So maybe Rafa saw it and he thought, "That's how I want to go out." I don't know. I mean, obviously he didn't. He probably saw it and he thought, well, if I have to, maybe that I can go out like this because, well, obviously if he was able to choose, then he would rather go out in style in, I don't know, winning the Olympics, for example. But at this stage, it doesn't seem like he believes in it. So Well, today we won't. I think today we won't know much anyway after Rafa plays Darwin, right? Like we might get to know something if Darwin is able to like hang in and then actually make Rafa struggle there. But if it's just like a simple 6-6 to win, we won't know much anyway until Rafa plays Alex de Minaur in the second round. That was a good return from Naomi, but she's unable to capitalize on this. Samsonova really showing how much she can sort of like, despite being, not the greatest of movers, obviously so tall and like kind of clumsy as well with her feet sometimes. I mean, she shows how much she's able to just do recovering from a position like this, adding a bit more height on the pole, giving herself more time to recover, to split step again, and it's yeah, it's not going well. 30-15 Samsonova. Maybe there is something here for Naomi to work with. Plays a relatively deep return down the middle, and I think Samsonova was a little in two minds in terms of what she should do with the ball. Eventually, she just completely breaks down her motion. Naomi trying to pump herself up, hitting her thigh a bit. Crucial point coming up, and the first serves have dried out from Samsonova. Her second can be quite dangerous, but it's still nowhere near close the quality of her first delivery. And that's probably one of the last opportunities that Osaka can get here. But again, that backhand down the line from Samsonova. This shot has been fabulous today. She's finding it in her sleep, and there's no way for Naomi to even make a move for it. I mean, she just can't. Samsonova is really brutalizing how slow Osaka is to that forehand corner, whether it's just by hitting good angles forehand cross or finding these backhand down the line stunners. And this is not looking that good. And again, backhand down the line, Osaka tries to slide into it, but she's not gonna play that squash shot into the court. So it's up a set and a break for Samsonova now. And if this was supposed to be like the last call for Osaka, of course, this game coming up is also extremely crucial to avoid going down a set and double break, which for all we know would basically kill the match for all we've seen so far. Again, Samsonova is just brutal, The angles on the forehand cross, they just keep getting sharper. And Osaka, even though she gets to it, she actually plays a semi-decent counter. That's going to be the last shot she ever takes in a rally. Like, she's just not going to recover from it. It's really rough. And I think Samsonova has come out with a perfect plan too. I don't know if that was something, that her coach already told her to do pre-match, or is this something that she just spotted as it went on, but seems like she is very just focused on really abusing that one corner, that one footwork pattern from Naomi, and so far it's working out perfectly. But I think Osaka might get this game though. 40-15, get on the board in the second set, keep herself within touching distance, and maybe something will show up for her, but she's trying to go after this second serve, misses it. Still one more game point. Both players now at one double fault each. And I think it's an ace for Osaka down the tee. The sliced serve, yes, indeed. So she's on the board, and she needs to work something out very, very quickly. Jastrzębska took that second set over Arango. Navarro now a set and a break on Podoroska. Ostapenko completely dominating Musas Maneiro. We've got Thiago Monteiro, 2 match points up on Lajovic. Seems like Arnaldi also broke through O'Connell's defenses very quickly. I think I mentioned when he was 4 games all with O'Connell, and he actually hasn't lost a game since. He's 5-love up now in the second set, so yeah, that match took a turn pretty quickly. Purcell and Giron into the third set. It's always like this, right? That like when you have 2 players who hate clay, who kinda, well, in a way don't belong at this level on clay court. Well, Giron maybe does. Purcell, it's tougher to make that case. And they're always gonna go third set tiebreak, right? That's kinda a given, I think. Monteiro serves it out, and on the WTA side, we've got, yeah, I mean, I just told you what the results were, basically. Any other standouts later on? Any other matches that you guys are going to follow? I personally think the WTA lineup is really good at the beginning of the day. That's why I'm actually doing Osaka Samsonova rather than something on the men's. But then it kind of like switches up. Like the last matches on the WTA are a little weaker. Maybe Fernandez Potapova is pretty cool. But otherwise, I don't really have anything that I'm interested in. Whereas on the ATP, like as the day goes on, it actually speeds up, and like at the end of the day is when we get the best matches on the ATP. That was, of course, also the case yesterday with Mute Shang, and I will be pushing for Mute Shang to be included in the match of the year discussion, by the way, because I don't care it's a first round. I don't care it's a first round between 2 players ranked wherever. That's really not a big deal. It was just an otherworldly experience to follow, especially the deciding set tiebreak. All the drama there, the dead net court that Mute saves the match point with, the incredible forehand winners from Jerry to clinch it. Three hours and 59 minutes. I think that really deserves a nod in a lot of match of the year discussions. And I hopefully, if I still remember it at the end, I will be pushing for it. Love 30 here for Samsonova. She double faults, so this is now a clear-cut opportunity for Naomi to get back to level terms. Samsonova still struggling to find that first serve in the second set, and of course that's playing into it too. Naomi very, like, I don't want to say anxious, but like, yeah, she's like eager to get that serve, to get that return. And well, I mean, she was pumping herself up for it. She actually took it so early and for a winner, yeah. That was pretty fun. The way she was just like, yeah, now is your chance, and then she actually takes that chance. She wasn't lying to herself. So it's going to be a second breakpoint, I think, in this match for Naomi. And yeah, there are maybe even going to be 3 of them if she can't convert the first or second. So, I think Samsonova found the line here. So she should be getting this point done. Yes, indeed. That was close. That was close. That backhand cross was not that clean from Liudmila, but she gets the first breakpoint save. First serve was finally in, but it was like a little centric. It wasn't placed that well. That's actually pretty decent recovery from Osaka. She is not willing to go backhand line though. We'll see if that ends up hurting her. No, as she stays in the point, goes after the Samsonova forehand, and eventually gets the error she was hoping for. So it's 2 games all in the second set, and Osaka is back in it. Yeah, so Terry, like you said, like I said, right? The best matches later in the day will be on the ATP side. Mikkelsen Fonseca, yes. Menchik first match back after a while. Hopefully he's fit. Hopefully he's ready. Early you watch WTA and later you watch ATP. That's the meta for today, I think. Of course, the ATP today is still the first round. The WTA is the second round, so we already have seeds coming into play on the WTA, whereas on the men's, we still have to wrap up the first round first. Maybe something is taking a turn here. I mean, Osaka just surviving in this rally for about 5-6 shots. That's something new. Eventually, she kind of gets Samsonova to overhit. So, are we in the middle of a turnaround? Or is it just, is it just a flash in the pan and it won't actually change the outlook on the match at all? This game quite crucial, obviously, for that. I don't know, Osaka goes up for the first time in this match, and maybe the pressure piles up on Samsonova having lost the last 3 games in a row, but another break and we are basically back in the same scenario as just 5 minutes ago. 15-all, second serve for Osaka. Yeah, again, Samsonova deep forehand cross, and she should be winning this point. She is indeed. The deep angled forehand cross and the backhands down the line. That's been the whole story for Samsonova today, and that's only because she's targeting that one very corner on the opposite side of the net. Had a second serve return lined up for her here, but misses it. Huge 30-all point. Osaka can't find the first serve again. I think overall her serve rhythm today has been a little weak. Just a lot of them not really coming even close to being in the court. She's frustrated here, throws the racket onto the ground. Doesn't actually smash it or anything, but just throws it. 30-40 as Samsonova plays another heavy return at the baseline. First serve for Naomi. Is it a let? Really? Okay. I mean, I don't know if she was winning the points. The Samsonova return was pretty okay, so. But she did look disappointed that was a let. Once again, she gets the first serve in. She's in the point, and she's gonna miss that forehand inside out. Well, Is it? Sorry, inside in. Anyway, 6-2, 3-2 up Samsonova. Brief fight back from Osaka, but is it over now? We'll see. Arnaldi defeated Chris O'Connell in the meantime. Already on the court are Roberto Bautista Agut and Daniel Elahikalan. Got Max Purcell and Marcos Giron also trying to wrap up their match. 5 games all in the third. And we have Navarro serving for the match against Podoroska. Ostapenko also 1 game away from winning against Puzas Maneiro already. Ons would be good, but on the same time as Rafa Sesteri. Ons against Schmidlova? Yeah, sure. I think Potapova Fernandez is my favorite match of that later WTA set. Maybe I'm assuming that a lot of people would go Mertens Stevens too. I know Nurlan will be desperate to watch Fiontek against Ziyu Wang because he's been saying that Ziyu is gonna trouble her. So I'm assuming that means he wants to watch it too. Plenty of Brits will be following Maria Karle against Veronika Kudermetova to potentially be able to say, you see? Yeah, quite a lot of discussion on Twitter yesterday also in terms of what we were talking about on the broadcast, right? That well, when I kind of called out Nick for making excuses for Emma, she's pretty much giving the same explanations, right? About like being tired after Stuttgart, but well, to me, she should probably not really go that deep into it. Just doesn't seem to me like it's a reasonable explanation. If you lost on Friday and then the next match you're playing on Wednesday, and you played 3 matches in Stuttgart, all straight sets. I know that she's just coming back, but like, yeah, I mean, she's kind of making it out to be as if she's Casper Ruud or I don't know Max Purcell winning 3 titles in India last year in a row. And there's a lot of voices like this too on in the discussion. Yeah. Personally, I just don't think that fatigue is, should be the main topic when talking about that loss yesterday. That's basically all I'm saying. Great point from Osaka, actually. The first one in this 6th game. She's still like very completely unwilling to go back in line. She's never. I don't think she's hit one of them in this match, and there are definitely a number of spots where it could have won her the point. Well, sorry, she hit a return winner backhand line, but like neutral, rally ball, ground strokes. Well, it doesn't even have to be neutral, like from an aggressive position either. And there are a fair few moments already when I think it would have won her an important point. But in the end, she still managed to clinch it. But this is another one where she had the opening, she didn't go for it. And Samsonova comes up with this nice backhand drop shot where we actually see that, yeah, the Naomi footwork up and down the court on clay is also a little weaker. It's kind of interesting, right? That like over the years, she hasn't managed to get it to a realistic, just a reliable level, that she still looks like she is moving on mud, basically. But maybe it's also the fact that she hasn't played on clay, of course, in 2 years, and that's probably not helping. Samsonova sticks to the game plan, super deep forehand at the Naomi forehand, and that really has been giving her so many points. But well, 30 all now, so once again we sort of can see that this second set has been much, much tighter. Have a lot of openings for both players now, lots of these crucial 30 all points that kind of decide how the set so far has progressed. Second serve as well, so the chance is there. Samsonova spreading the court with the forehand, and she should be able to take it. Once again, maybe it wasn't even the fact that Naomi was a little slow to her forehand corner that lost her the point, but the recovery from that just kind of non-existent. "16 winners for Samsonova so far, 9 of Osaka's racket. Second serve again, I think percentage-wise they haven't been that strong, either of them really, but especially Samsonova this second set is really struggling to keep her first serve in play, which well might be responsible for this match getting closer and closer. But can she close out the game and go 4-2 up? And I was complaining about Osaka not taking her backhand down the line opportunities, which she apparently must have heard. Because she finally cracks one, and you can see how much of a surprise it is for Samsonova as well, given the entire match Naomi was avoiding it like the plague. Which honestly is like that much of a shame as well, because like that's kind of the match that's kind of the shot that can help her avoid Samsonova going deep and into her forehand a lot of the time. But well, the Russian is very clean here on the +1 forehand winner. So maybe that was all in vain. We'll see. Did she find it? I think it's out. The line umpire says it's out. Are we gonna get a challenge of any sorts? I mean, we are on the main court. No, I guess we're not even getting that. 6-2 4-2 anyway for Samsonova. This was a rally that Osaka definitely could have won, but she misses that huge forehand cross just by a tiny, tiny bit. So once again, a set and a break. Liudmila Samsonova. She was 2-love up earlier. Then Osaka won 2 games, then Samsonova won 2 games. If that pattern holds up, of course, Naomi would get to 4-all and then lose 4-6, but we'll see. I believe that's out. Both just really like going blow for blow here on this forehand trade, and Osaka loses it kind of predictably, I would say. Osaka in control of the point, approaches the net, and she will cap it off as well. That's a very nice rally again from her. When she's just, middle of the court, she is in position, she has her feet very quick at every shot. It's possible for her to construct points like this on clay, yes. Nice volley on the stretch too. I mean, not the toughest, obviously, but like you still gotta be there to cut off the angle. Gotta anticipate relatively well. So 40-15 Osaka. Second serve is a double fault. I think the previous service game that she had. No, sorry, that was the one at 1-2, wasn't it? That, or Love 2 was the one where she was 40-15. She made like a double fault and then she still won the game. And in fact, maybe that was also how she won it, the sliced serve down the tee. Anyway, 4-3 Samsonova. Still up a break, but well, this second set has been much closer, and it's not that much of a surprise that we are still in it after 34 minutes, the opener ending in 30. JG on. Game to love, I guess, GTL, but what's JG? JG is someone, I guess. JG on Game to Love gave her a rough video. But dot after was confusing to me. But I guess that's JG is someone on Game to Love then. Why is Raducanu tired? Poor Sky commentary. Okay. So that was about the Raducanu thing that I was talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he says in the video, but I think this definitely shouldn't be the first part of the narrative here, given how much time she had since Stuttgart. Or if it is the first part of the narrative, then, something is clearly still very wrong. More double faults coming from Samsonova's racket, combined with the fact that her first serve percentage hasn't been that high. This set, this is definitely leading to this being a bit more of a nail-biting affair. As we said earlier, I mean, this set has been going around and, well, the games in this set have been sort of won in pairs. So maybe it's not the end of that pattern. Yeah, that sort of return is not going to cut it. This Madrid court, really, something that I maybe wasn't, well, I guess I was aware in previous years, but I wasn't thinking much about, especially in comparison with Stuttgart. I think the speed, probably it's going to be faster in Madrid, yes, but the bounce is actually a lot more clay-like here. It's obviously not as slick as it is in Stuttgart. Which actually makes me a little more confident about Świątek potentially doing well at this event. I know she hasn't won it yet, and like a peaking Sabalenka got her here last year, which is still a possibility if she plays a big hitter, but Just feels like with that sort of bounce, it will be hard for the opponents to fend her off, regardless if it's altitude, if it's a little faster, if the ball travels through the air a little faster and is a little tougher to control. Well, one more double fault from Samsonova. She's like really going all out on them right now. But it is 30 all. She won the other 2 points. She is basically putting herself in a tricky spot here. 3 double faults in the second set already, 2 in this game. Gets the first serve in here though, and Osaka will not be able to connect with the backhand return. So 40-30, and despite the 2 double faults, she is still leading. She still has a game point. Forty all now, and Samsonova with this backhand cross court into the net. I don't know if it's nerves, given she hasn't won in 2 months or anything, but this game is obviously very sloppy from her on her part. And who knows, maybe we get indeed that pattern of just 2 games here, 2 games there. And Osaka can get to 4 games all here. But again, the serves comes up with the first serve basically helps her out here. Comes in very handy as Osaka will not be able to produce another return. Definitely feels like in this game Samsonova is her own worst enemy. We'll see if that continues to be the case at deuce here. Yes, it does, because it's a double fault, so I think it's the third in this game already. Basically, she can't keep her serve in play here, and that's costing her big time. One more breakpoint for Osaka. Who I think has played like good point here, really, at 40-30 for Samsonova. Otherwise, she's just getting all these double faults handed to her. And is she gonna get the game handed to her? Yes, it's a forehand from Samsonova that sails long. So we are at 4 games all suddenly. This set going like 2 games for Samsonova, 2 for Osaka, 2 for Samsonova, 2 for Osaka. And obviously the thing about the tennis system, the tennis scoreboard now, is that if Samsonova wins the next 2 games, she wins the match. Osaka will not be able to to get 2 more games to potentially get it to a tiebreak. So we'll see if that continues. But this second set has definitely been a much messier affair from Samsonova. Osaka playing slightly better too, for sure, but yeah, this previous game was just a nightmare for the Russian. Did she get nervous close to the finish line because she hasn't won in a while? Maybe, but it wasn't that close to the finish line yet either, I guess. But yeah, 3 double faults in the previous game. Was very hard to recover from that. And the last time, of course, Naomi got to 2 games all. Samsonova was there quickly with a rebreak. Not looking the part here on this first missed return, but it was like a little snapped, but we'll see. Think she probably missed it. Yeah, 30 love up for Osaka. That clearly was not the right setup for the shot. I mean, so close to the body with that last backhand motion. And a nasty second serve kick from Osaka, really throwing Samsonova out of the court. She's unable to get it back into play. So 5-4 is very real now, and that would be the first time Osaka leads in this match too. Leads in the set at least. And indeed, it's a very easy game for the Japanese, so all the pressure on Samsonova now. This is a scenario she definitely hasn't found herself yet in this match, and it's a scenario she probably didn't think she was going to find herself in it. And Purcell gets it done, 7-6 in the third. That's actually not good for Max because he wants to go to Asia very quickly. Now he's going to have to stay in Madrid until until Saturday. So how is he going to fly to what's the tournament next week? Jesus, one of the Chinese challengers that is there. It's not Vuxi yet. I think it's one before then. Anyway, never mind. But he basically wants to go to Asia and now he's gonna have to stay there until Saturday. But of course, getting some points in is important. 7-6 in the third, as I said. A match like this will always go 7-6 in the third when there are two guys who dislike clay and basically everyone just wants them to finish off the match. They're definitely gonna go long. So yeah, 3 matches on the men's side now, 2 starting up, Zhang Kecmanovic and Hanfman Mensik. And on the women's, we have Diana Jastremska currently 4-2 up in the third on Emiliana Arango. Ostapenko has just wrapped up her match. Emma Navarro defeated Nadia Podoroska. And Beatriz Haddad Maya is also on the court against Sara Errani. Already 3 games to love up. And let's see, Liudmila Samsonova serving at 4-5 down in the second set. This is definitely new to her. I mean, this match was going in a completely different direction until 10 minutes ago. And yet here we are. Ooh, nasty forehand drop shot for Samsonova though. First serves won as well, just 57% in the second set from Samsonova. So it's not just that she's not getting many of them in, even when she is. It's not been that easy for her. And yeah, this is getting so tight. As Osaka finds a big return at her feet, and it's 15:30. Suddenly, Naomi is 2 points away from the set, and the last 10 minutes, Samsonova is missing, and I'm not saying missing in terms of missing shots. I'm saying she's like AWOL on the court. She's MIA. And she keeps being MIA, missing that forehand here, +1 shot. Oh my goodness. What a dramatic last 4 games this has been for Samsonova. Yeah. Needless to say, this hasn't been a very high quality match. Especially the second set, Samsonova the last few games has been just completely out of the boil. First set point has been saved. Serve out wide to the Osaka forehand. And it looks like it's another good serve, yeah. So suddenly, what has been failing for her a little bit the last couple of games. Suddenly getting her out of trouble. But she's not in control of this rally, and this time it's Osaka winning the forehand to forehand cross-court trade. The difference was that Samsonova found herself like a meter or two behind the baseline. It's nowhere near as aggressive as before. And it's a third set point for Naomi. And do you guys know how the set point has been converted? I mean, I think you can guess it by now. Yeah, I mean, this will be a challenge for Samsonova to try to forget about these last 4 games, because that was quite something. She double faults to give it away too. Maybe this is what Arina Sabalenka meant, when she said that she watches more men's tennis because it's more logical. Anyway, once at all. I mean, double faults. If I didn't make it clear, the end was the set point was a double fault. Samsonova really in struggle town the last 4 games. I think that Naomi played better like in the first few games of the second set than she did in the last 4, actually, But well, that's not what's important. What's important is that she was stronger than her opponent in the last 4 games of the second set, and she wins it from 2-6, 2-4 down. She manages to get us to a decider. That's not a perfect way for Samsonova to snap herself out of that little run without winning. I'm saying little run because, well, even though she hasn't won since February, as I said, it's only 3 matches. I mean, 4 if you count her Dubai loss. So it's not really like the end of the world, but if she loses this one from 6-2, 4-2, then we'll be talking about the narrative already, yeah. Jastrzębska just one game away from the win against Emiliana Arango at the moment. We had Beatriz Haddad-Maia 4-love up on Sara Errani in the first set of their encounter. Now Errani with some break points, but it's been going relatively easy so far, it seems, for the Brazilian. And on the men's, just 3 matches right now. Garan Bautista Agut still on serve in the first set, and 2 that basically just started with Hanfman Mensik and Zhang Kecmanovic. I think Naomi went off the court for a toilet break, so it might be a minute or 2 more before we actually get action back again. The chair umpire talking on the walkie-talkie with someone. Samsonova is back on the court already. Not sure if Osaka has returned though. Well, Samsonova will be hoping that not only her physical, body will be back on the court soon. She will be hoping that her mental side of her personality and also the game will be back on the court soon, because the last 4 games were just a nightmare. Sakari matches up well versus Iga in the past. In 2021, sure, but can we really count that? Can we really count that when we're talking about Świątek pre 2022 win streak? Let's be honest. Ever since Iga started that win streak, she's been dominating Sakari every single time, and I don't really see a reason why that would change. 3 wins in 2021 for Maria, yes, but and here we are. Naomi Osaka back again to serve at the beginning of the third set. At this point, I really have no idea what's going to happen. Samsonova for the entire first set was really brutalizing the forehand corner of Osaka, exposing her ability to move on that side, especially on the run, especially on the stretch, in positions where she was just a little pushed wide. There was no way for Naomi to get the ball back on many occasions or recover for the next shot. But then from 2-4 down, we have this very poor stretch from Samsonova where she double faults every other point basically. But who knows? Maybe Osaka has really gained some confidence from that, and maybe she will actually survive. There is some hope here. I mean, there is a bit more spring in her step, I would say, for Osaka in this first point. She doesn't fully go after his backhand line, but she kinda goes for it, and it's good enough to maintain her lead, maintain her advantage in the point. Of course, earlier I was complaining that she's massively avoiding her opportunities there, but not this time. Whew. But now she opened up the angle for the Samsonova cross-court forehand, and that was not a good idea, it seems. One of the better shots of the match from the Russian, and Osaka is also applauding her after this one. Such a weird match too, because Samsonova was playing quite intelligently as well from I would say probably until 6-2 to love, maybe even 4-2. Just the way that she was so determined and so laser focused on that one weak part that she saw in Naomi's game. But after that, yeah, if you start just giving away every other point, it's pretty hard to win, obviously. And who knows, maybe by now Naomi has just gained enough confidence that she's actually gonna be fighting back a lot more too. She's definitely really pumped for this. I mean, you can't deny that she's been giving a good fight here. Even if in large chunks of the match she was getting completely outplayed. But yeah, she pumps herself up after these unreturned serves here, and she's actually on the board already in the third set, which of course in the first and second she had to wait for her first game. And actually, by now, Osaka has won 5 games in a row, right? So becoming very crucial for Samsonova to try to claim this next game. For what it's worth, I think what Samsonova was doing in the opening set and half of the second, like it does take quite a lot of control over your shots to play like this, to go after that backhand line, to play all these deep forehands at the Osaka forehand, not like leave her any short ball there, not actually allow her to overwhelm you in these patterns either. Like it takes quite a lot of control. So like if she absolutely starts losing it mentally a bit, even a bit more, it could be tough to maintain, is what I'm trying to say. But a couple of unreturned serves will definitely help her cause. And it seems like we will have a bit of a normal start to the third set, just a couple of quick holds for both players. She finds another backhand return winner. I'm not sure what exactly Samsonova was expecting here. I mean, she threw Osaka out of the court completely, and then like didn't really move to that direction either. She basically forced Osaka to take that sort of choice, to go for that line, and wasn't ready for it though. But things won't get tricky for her here. +1 forehand, super flat this time around. You can see how it barely bounced, even though we're on clay. And 1 game all. 13 minutes, it says on the scoreboard, but obviously that includes the toilet break, so it's not quite that. As things look very open for either player right now. Samsonova definitely not executing her patterns with as much confidence as she was before, and we've seen that she can get nervous if it comes to the crunch, so it's hard to have confidence that like she's just gonna roll over Osaka again. I think that part of the match is probably gone by now. It's a good combo from her though to start the third set. Deep return and just instantly is there, bounces on the short ball. Did Osaka make it? Very aggressive second serve. She's asking the umpire to check, I think, but well, now he even shows her from yeah. Now on the replay here that we not even on the replay, but on the close up of the mark that we can see here. I mean, it's very clear. Osaka still asks for a challenge, I think. Yeah, but that was way long. That first serve isn't gonna land in either. And it's a double fault from Osaka now, so 2 doubles in a row. 4 missed serves, and she is three break points down. Yeah, I mean, enough said. This match, the last few games, has really gotten kind of unwatchable. It's becoming a bit of a, who misses more game rather than who converts any advantage they can find against the opponent. And can Samsonova clinch it? Backhand line forces Osaka to slice on the forehand, and again, that's point over basically. Once again, using that backhand line very well, and she is up a break in the third. Of course, after all these struggles in the second set to close it out, first 2 games to love, she loses 2 games in a row. Then 4 games to 2, she loses 4 in a row. After that, it's kind of hard to find confidence that it's going to be easy for her from this position. But well, now it's Osaka who kind of gave her a game and decided to throw in a couple of errors. Who hits harder? Samsonova, Pavlyuchenkova, Alexandrova? I think it's pretty clearly Alexandrova. Yeah, I don't think it's Pavlyuchenkova. I think it's between the other two. Samsonova here in this match is actually hitting with quite a lot of control and like pretty heavy too. I don't think that's something Alexandrova ever goes for. Alexandrova is just like, well, I mean, she definitely hits earlier too, right? Which does influence this. So like there might be more arm power in someone like Samsonova or Pavlyuchenkova, but Alexandrova's shots will actually take time away better. But I would say Alexandrova is even more so of a ball basher than Samsonova or Pavlyuchenkova. Pavlyuchenkova is not a ball basher at all. Samsonova, Alexandrova, I would say they are. But yeah, to me it's Alexandrova. Any interesting twists while I was talking about this in other matches? Not really. Kecmanovic up an early break on Zhang. Yastremska finished it off against Arango 6-4 in the third. Only 2 women's matches on in play at the moment, with Haddad Maya Errani being the other one. 5-2 up for the Brazilian there in the decider. Let's see. 2-1 Samsonova. The amount of double faults from both players in the last 5 or 7 games has been sky high. Maybe that's gonna end. Maybe there's also gonna be some more exciting rallies. Who knows? Samsonova trying to look for that backhand down the line. She's been pretty much perfect on this shot this match. I mean, she's only used it about 4 or 5 times, but every single time it gave her like a real advantage. Not this time though, as she dumps it into the middle of the net. So, well. Was that serve in? I suppose so. But Osaka is going to miss that forehand. Creating that spin here, creating that power into the backhand corner of Samsonova, clearly pretty tough for her with her motion. I think, this is a shot she would love to play on a quicker hard court, but off that bounce, she actually didn't find herself that comfortable. Sorry. Yeah, and more unreturned serves galore. This time of the kicker second serve from Samsonova. We have Osaka missing. It's a rough match. I mean, truth be told, like for either of these players, if they pull through, Samsonova especially, like I don't think form ever really comes into play with her. Like she can just fire up at any time. With Osaka, I would have more concerns because, yeah, just because of how she's moving and like I don't think every single opponent has to be capable of taking advantage of that though. Next opponent for either of these two is Madison Keys. So like it's another huge hitting contest with either of these two, right? I think Madison in general, I would probably see her as the favorite against either player, just based on what I'm watching right now. But yeah, I mean Samsonova really, for her especially, form doesn't matter. Keys, of course, only just like starting her season too. I think today was her 6th match or something like that, or maybe 7th. She recently had a third round run in Miami when she was stopped by Elena Rybakina, then played just one in Charleston, losing to Jacqueline Christian. So also hasn't played all that much this season. Definitely less than either of these two. But yeah, now at 30 all, we have an unforced error from Samsonova's racket. And it's been like that. This one coach here in the Osaka box, basically the same facial expression as myself now. So close to an ace down the tee, but it's not going to be in. So break point up, Osaka. Can Samsonova double fault again? That's kind of the main question right now, the burning one. No, it's pretty decent actually. But obviously, Osaka gets it in play, and that's going to be enough because Samsonova just can't make 2 shots in a row at the moment. Yeah, this has been pretty rough for both women the last well, 10 games or so, but obviously Samsonova had this stretch where she was even more so struggling to control her serve especially, but also her strokes. Now it feels like they're both in a bit of a contest of who donates more to the opponent. Also of who gets more out of their serves, definitely. Like that's still been, that's still a part of the match where both tend to shine a little bit, but is it because of poor returning or is it because of good serving? I mean, kind of 50-50. Well, she's trying Samsonova to go after the returns, but it's not even a big miss, but all in all, it's just another ball that she doesn't even force Osaka to play. Just have this feeling that, like, if Naomi pulls through, it's, she's gonna be in the event still, of course, but it might like come to a sudden crash at some point. Like, let's say she plays keys and she loses 3-6, 3-6, or something like that. Samsonova, I would just have no idea what to expect from her in the next match. She feels like a lot more enigmatic. Yeah, just match to match. You just never really know what she's gonna play. And that's some spectacular serving the last 2 points from Naomi, a couple of aces. So she's 3-2 up. She was already down a break in the decider, although that was very briefly. Samsonova never consolidated it. She was earlier 2-6, 2-4 down. And now she's 3-2 up, which at this stage, I mean, any game on the board, regardless if it's yours or the opponent's, I think it seems very crucial. Alexandra Eala starting up against Sorana Kirstea as well really soon. Galan and Bautista Agut into the third set tiebreak. Zhang is struggling against Kecmanovic at the moment. Elam says, "Hey Damien, lots of unforced errors in this match." Yeah, it's been tough to watch, especially the last half an hour or so. But we keep pulling through. You gotta keep going until the end, and we'll see. Basically, yeah, you could be a little impressed at first by Samsonova for sure. The first set and a half, just the way that she was abusing the Naomi footwork on clay. But ever since she got tight, I mean, it's just it's such a nervous, even affair between the two, and both of them donating a ton of points to the opponents. Let's see. Samsonova serving at 2-3 down. Still just 1 hour and 46 minutes. This has not been the longest free setter in the world for sure. I mean, obviously, we don't have any long rallies really. So, both because the players are so aggressive, but also because, well, they're missing a lot of these aggressive shots, particularly Samsonova. From time to time, she finds that great forehand +1 here. Comes up with the forehand dropper to Osaka, trying to start to it, but, well, I think that's also something that Samsonova probably worked out prior to the match, that these sort of forehand drop shots will be deadly to Naomi, given that, well, she has to expect a big shot, and she's not a good starter on the surface, simply. Huge serve. That's a pretty clinical game from Samsonova so far, just getting the first save in every single time and wrapping it up in max free shots. So that's a bit of a back on track for her after the fourth game of this set was, well, another disaster. And indeed, I mean, the longest rally in this game, which was just rapid the entire game, the longest rally in this game was 3 shots. 2+1 winners from Samsonova, sorry, 3+1 winners from Samsonova, and a serve that I'm not sure if it was classified as an ace because I think Naomi touched it a little bit, but like not enough to really produce, even like hit the ball towards the other side of the net. So I'm not sure how it was classified as, but what it was classified as. But anyway, we are at 3 games all. Maybe suddenly that's what we're going to have in this match. A bit more clarity, a bit more easy holds for both players, especially if they get into good rhythm on serve. That, of course, can very much be the case. The last game, Samsonova just found 4 first serves in a row. Backhand drop shot from Samsonova, and again, like Naomi's just not even going to move towards it. Maybe Samsonova is just going to start coming up with these a lot more often now. The disguise here was nice. The execution didn't need to be spot on because Osaka clearly is not going to chase down a lot of these. But now she gets Samsonova on the move, should be able to clean to the point. Yes, indeed. The forehand angle there basically did everything, and then it's just a follow-up. Another backhand drop shot from Samsonova, and there's no way for Osaka to chase this down. I mean, she's just so slow. Seven backhand winners, they tell us, from Samsonova's racket, but I mean, the last 2 were backhand drop shots, so. But I think she misses this forehand cross. Yeah, she's gonna be frustrated with this. She had the ball in her racket here for a potential break point, but now it's Osaka trying to get that 4th game and keep fighting. Well, now it's time for Osaka to get frustrated as there's a big return coming at her feet from Samsonova. The less said about the way that Naomi approached it, the better. And that's why she was so angry at herself. So we are at deuce. Another drop shot from Samsonova. This time it's not even that good, and Osaka still has to like run into it at full speed, and she doesn't make it over the net. I mean, Samsonova played like what, 4 drop shots in this game already, something like that, or was it 3 in this one and 1 in the previous? I think it was 3 in this one and 1 in the previous game. But yeah, this will be hilarious if she just does it all the time now. She can't take the break point though. Trying to hit backhand cross, but like she didn't really set up well with her feet. Wow. Maybe Samsonova just needs to play a drop shot every single point, you know? She's losing virtually any other rally this game. Trading backhands cross and Samsonova with the backhand drop shot. I mean, yeah, sure. This time I honestly this time I read it. Like, yeah, it was just too good a position. I mean, she was trading backhands cross. Naomi is not gonna go down the line, and she just has all the time to set this up, which she does. This is yeah, this is becoming quite a show. And again, she doesn't play a drop shot, she loses the point. I mean, clearly you gotta go for it now. Backhand cross from Samsonova, this time giving her the error. I mean, I'm sorry guys if this is like, you know, a little less energetic from me, but yeah, this is a really rough watch. At this stage, I really just want Samsonova to go in for this drop shot. Yeah, just play a drop shot on every point. You know, it's been working out. Like Naomi hasn't gotten to a single one of them yet. Of course, she needs to first recover in this rally. Like it's not that obvious. I'm kind of joking, but that would actually bring out some entertainment, I think, in this match. You know, if she just started. Because yeah, any other rally, Alexandrova is eventually losing now. I don't know if it's some fatigue getting into her now, but this is a very similar backhand to the one she missed like 4 points ago, when she just doesn't even set up for the shot. And Osaka with an ace down the tee, 4-3. Well, again, I can't deny the fact that she's been fighting. She's really been determined to stay in this match, despite at some point looking so out of it. But Samsonova is having a very weird day out there. Did I see Nadal's comments about potentially not being fully fit for Roland Garros? Yeah, I mean the fact that he said that if he feels like he does today, he's not gonna play Roland Garros. That's pretty shocking. I would think that he still wants to say goodbye in Paris at some point, but maybe he's just gonna do it for the Olympics then instead. Like that's a real possibility to me then, if he really is going to be like this. Have you noticed the huge discrepancy in the prize money? Men get nearly €1 million and women only get 500,000. I mean, yeah, only the Grand Slams have the same prize money. Tour events, they actually work, you know, ATP, WTA. WTA is a rotten organization which it has been a complete failure the last 10 years or so. And it's not paying its players enough. Yes. Zhang as well down a set and a break to Kecmanovic. Zhang, of course, made the quarterfinals in Madrid last year, which was the first time that someone from China went that far at an event like this, which was his breakthrough run with wins over Shapovalov and Fritz. But currently he is down a set and a break to Kecmanovic. Menchik took the first set, as Terry says, and Bautista Agut as well over Galan. We've got Beatriz Haddad-Maia and Sara Errani as well involved in a bit of a fight. At first, the Brazilian was 5-love up, but now it seems like Errani is, well, doing what she always does, right? Fighting for her life. And Eala against Kipstea have started too. So 4-3, and now it's Samsonova's turn to try to get through a service game. Yeah, we're getting to 2 hours here. Both players, I think, will be sort of realizing by now that, well, this is just a match you gotta get through. There's no winners here. Like, literally, you're gonna go off the court thinking, "Oh my god! I mean, I'm so glad I made it, but I did not play my best." It's 2 hours now. And when the second serve kicker is not that, when the angle and the spot serving there isn't on point, Osaka is able to crack some of these backhands down the line. It's interesting how it's easier for her to hit backhand down the line off a return than a rally ball as well. But 30 all now, fifth return winner of the match. And we are basically, 2 points away from Osaka serving for the match. And, it wouldn't really be weird with the way that the last few games have been going. I mean, Samsonova is mostly winning the points where she finds that drop shot on. And that's kind of the Samsonova special. Good first serve, forehand into the other direction, and she manages to get to game point. This is just, well, for what it is, I mean, it is tense. It is entertaining in terms of the drama of the scoreboard, right? So at least we have this. But it's not a beautiful match, no. And the amount of backhand unforced errors in these trades with Osaka cross, I mean, that they have really piled up on Samsonova recently. And you could say that she's not going after the backhand line now, but I think that it's also because she's not getting into position as early as she was as she was at the beginning of the match. She doesn't really create these opportunities for herself anymore. She's really started losing these patterns as the match goes on. And well, we've got another key point here, and it's going to be trading backhands. Osaka kind of had to get out of it, though. just with the way the ball bounced for her there. But this time Samsonova survives that. A few really weird shots from Naomi here, again, like super close to the body on these backhands cross, but they were actually pretty dangerous. So, I mean, good on Samsonova here for surviving this point. The last few games, she's been losing this particular trade all the time. So yeah, 4 games all. This was pretty scary for a second for Samsonova, but she survives, and we still don't know a thing about where this third set will go. I kind of know where it will go in terms of my memory, probably into the bin, and I will hope to forget it pretty soon, but at least in terms of who is going to come off the court as the winner, as the player who will feel a lot of relief of having scraped through such a battle. We still don't know that. Samsonova, is she gonna find something on the backhand side now? Yes. First cross, then massive down the middle. Gets an error from Osaka. Love 15. Oh, that's in. Okay. Samsonova, I think, was doubting that, but turns out to be 15 all then. I don't see the speed gun in this particular view of the camera, but I would expect that was a very fast first serve. Nice camera angle here as Naomi tries to go for the backhand inside out, but she misses it from the middle of the court. Samsonova just throwing in a couple of shots here and actually got the reward for this more composed approach. It was Naomi who felt like she needs to create, and she's very disappointed to have missed that. But again, ace down the tee. I mean, the serving has been much, much stronger the last couple of games for Osaka. And that definitely sets her up well for this game. But, well, 30 all now. So things might be getting very intense in a matter of seconds. She needs to find that second serve here, and she needs to stop Samsonova from attacking it. Well, she missed the first part. She missed out on that find the second serve part. But on this side, for whatever reason, I mean, she's losing all the points on the deuce side, but on the outside, she's just finding great first serves time and time again. Out wide, the sliced ace down the tee. This one a little more at the body. Both players in the third set are winning a lot of points after the first serve too, both over 80%. So this has been really crucial. And on the deuce side, Osaka is again not finding the first serve, but she's gonna win the point. She survives as Samsonova misses a backhand. Yeah, this is still pretty rough, but it's a battle of wits. It's a battle of basically your ability to survive right now. And that also can be entertaining in a way. It's a battle of who gets who gets their second serve in. And once again, on the I mean, this is just pure serve botting on the outside from Osaka in this game. I mean, 4 unreturned serves, 2 aces, I think. Maybe even 3 if one of these was also counted. So it's 5 for Osaka. And after the break, Samsonova is going to be under extreme pressure. Looks like Zhi Zhang will not defend his quarterfinal points. I mean, he is currently down 6-3, 3-6, love 3 to Kecmanovic. And that's double break in the second set too. So no, Eddie. Osaka is absolutely awful, and so is Samsonova. But what can you do? I mean, Osaka. First of all, Osaka still can't move on clay. Like that's the one thing, right? I mean, Samsonova had this game when she suddenly started drop shotting every other point, and she won all of them. There's not a single drop shot in this entire match that she tracked down. First set and a half, Samsonova was like really abusing Naomi's footwork to the forehand corner too. Like if she recovers, if she gets to that on the run, she's not gonna recover for the next shot. But now it's like a bit of a serve botting contest. Lots of early errors from Samsonova too. I mean, yeah, I mean she's a potential banana skin. Sure, she's a potential banana skin in every conditions because you get no rhythm. But yeah, I mean Osaka's movement on clay is still a joke. This has not been a good match. But who cares, right? It's all about getting through a round. For Osaka, I think mostly it's about not losing all that much momentum on clay. Like she was obviously gaining some rhythm during the Sunshine Double. So now it's like about winning some clay matches at least, and getting into decent shape, especially by the North American hardcourt season. So winning here obviously is helpful, but she's in no way a threat to win this event. No. Another drop shot from Samsonova, and this time she actually manages to overcook it a little bit. Maybe Osaka is gonna start reading it. Maybe Samsonova just can't afford to play a drop shot, like regardless of what the execution is. But this time she actually manages to get to it in time. Luckily for Samsonova, this was at 30 love, but and 5 games all again. It's like serve botting mashed up with double faults and early errors, basically, from both players. Except in the third set, we're actually seeing quite a lot of serve botting on both sides. And we are at 5 games all, so yeah, this is still absolutely unclear. 51 minutes in the third set, 51 minutes in the second set, both 10 games. But of course, Osaka won the second set 6-4. Of course, if anyone is tuning in now, Osaka was also down 2-6 to 4, but the 4 games that Samsonova played to lose the second set, I mean, they should get her on FBI's most wanted. For what it's worth, I mean, Naomi actually hasn't had any like spectacularly poor moments in this game, in this match, right? She's just been unimpressive throughout. It's definitely more Samsonova who's been fluctuating. And now it's love 30 on the Osaka serve. I think both players were very confused here. Osaka is laughing to herself as well. I mean, this was the first serve was in, then Samsonova, I guess, stopped for a second. Osaka finds this forehand winner down the line, which well looked controlled, but from her reaction, I don't know if it was. So 15-30. Samsonova rolls the return in play, and she tries to go for her forehand down the line, nets it. Yeah. Now a nice backhand cross from Samsonova, and does she make the volley? Oh my goodness, she does. But that was too close for comfort. I mean, she's like looking at the ground. She doesn't want to think about it. Holy hell. I mean, she had the whole open court here. Yeah. Not a fan of this, but anyway, breakpoint for Samsonova. That backhand cross that she accelerated on, that's kind of the crucial shot here. And Osaka once again just serve botting out wide, really. Again, that outside serve is just too good. Like the previous game when she basically won everything on that, to that corner, and not even to that corner, on that side, really. And then now she comes up with another great first serve in that direction again. Deuce. Backhand drop shot from Samsonova again. I mean, she's not gonna even chase them down. And second serve this time on the outside, and Samsonova just finds a decent return. Osaka still, like, when she gets that ball down the middle, she doesn't really know what to do with it. She's hesitating. She's basically just unable to get it back 90% of the time. 6-5 for Samsonova, and the Russian is going to serve for the match for the first time. Of course, she was 6-2, 4-2 up. But yeah, first time she's gonna be in that territory. Well, I mean, I'm not excited about it on clay, but let's throw them against her on hard courts by the US Open, and yeah, then I'm gonna be excited. Hanfman is my favorite player, really? I mean, I'm definitely a bigger fan of Menchik. Just a younger player who can do more. I'm a fan of potential. If someone has already fulfilled their destiny as a tennis player, then you know let them. They had their moments. Now it's up to the youngsters to take over, like Jakub Menchik. Sarana Kirstea serving for the set, Beatriz Haddad-Maia serving for the match. Of course, soon enough, Liudmila Samsonova will also be in this position. Miomir Kecmanovic very close to the win, just one game away, even 2 points away from Zhizhen Zhang now, from closing out the match against Zhizhen Zhang. And Hanfman is up a break in the second set. That is blasphemy. I mean, I don't really have that many favorite players, so I kind of just root for the guys who still have more to achieve. That's my rule. I think Hanfman had a very clear peak last year, and well, I mean, right now he's pretty clearly showing in most matches that he, in the long run, will not be able to maintain it. And let's see if Osaka can still fight for this. Love 15 here, missing the second serve return. And another drop shot. I mean, this is just... Yeah, I mean, she lost 1 point after them and probably won like 20, so obviously this has been a real strategy. She finds one bigger aggressive return here, cross court. She gets a point, 15-30. Still in trouble, but of course, we've seen many, many twists and turns in this match already. And I think that's such a crucial one for Samsonova, finding that line on the out wide serve here. After 2 hours and 21 minutes, she gets to 2 match points finally. And it's an ace again. So Liudmila Samsonova suddenly, after her serve was like a bit of a double-edged sword for some parts of the match at least. She actually finds a couple of great serves to end the match. So at least in this particular moment, she was able to rely on it. For Naomi, I mean, I honestly can't be too positive. She definitely was determined. She was fighting. She was serve botting on that outside very well in the third set, but yeah, I mean, her footwork is just. I think, on clay, it's really going to be about getting at least like 2 matches in maybe every event and just keeping up some momentum for the rest of the season. Like that's all I can say for now. But don't make babies, says Ghosty. I mean, to me, that's not a baby thing, right? Like before she got pregnant, she was also moving like this on clay. It's pretty interesting that she never managed to get that worked out in any way. But well, there's still time, of course. She's not exactly in the end of her career. She has a lot of years left. Liudmila Samsonova, on the other hand, her first win since February. I think if she won this match from 6-2, 4-2 up, we would be talking about a very good showing. But sadly, the rest of the match happened too. But yeah, she's just going to be delighted to get through it. Regardless of sort of what a mess she made of it, she is through. She gets that win. She could finally rely on the serve in the third set as a whole, and also here. So basically here in terms of just the last couple of points as well. Of course, it coming up so clutch. She had some good ideas for this, right? Early on, really punishing Osaka for that weak forehand corner movement. And then in the third set, of course, suddenly firing up on these drop shots. I mean, that was pretty funny, but, Osaka only won 1 point when Samsonova played a drop shot. And that's not because every single drop shot from the Russian was amazing. Like, that's because Osaka literally can't move on this surface. But well, what can you do? She managed to get through Samsonova eventually. I can't really tell you if it's a deserved win or not. She gets it though. She almost blew it, but she managed to find something right there at the end. And well, Elam says that Naomi definitely needs to work on her conditioning and footwork. I think conditioning, like reconditioning, this is perfect, right? Like you want to play matches like this. Clay is fantastic for building up your fitness, physicality. And with the feet, I guess we'll see after the clay season what happens on grass, what happens on hard courts. Grass, of course, was never really her favorite surface either, but I'm guessing there she could expect a bit more results though. Anyway, Samsonova next. She's going to play Madison Keys. I'm not willing to make any predictions because, well, it's Liudmila Samsonova and Madison Keys. I mean, it's going to be a similar serve-botting, big hitting type of match where, like, yeah, no rhythm and anything can happen. So I would say that based on their performances today, Keys is probably a small favorite, but I think Keys would have had an easier time with Osaka than with Samsonova. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be it. Soon enough, you're also going to have some streams, well, 2 streams from Darwin Blanche playing Rafael Nadal, one in Spanish, one in English. So that's going to be quite something. First time in the history of the channel. Hopefully during that stream, one of these streams, we're going to get 8K subscribers as well. We are very close to that target. So if anyone watching still hasn't subscribed, go ahead, and I'm going to sign off for the day. So probably see you tomorrow at some point, and have fun watching Blanche, Nadal, and all the other matches. Bye, guys.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.